Today, I'm gonna wipe out every human on Earth as fast as I can. And we're gonna do it with peace and love. My current record is 401 days, we can do better. And sorry India, but this is where peace and love starts. To start, there's not much we can do, we're just gonna sit back and relax and let people slowly get infected. I do also now have the information available to me that India is a rural country, it's humid and also hot. So we're gonna get some livestock transmission because that's good for rural countries and it's quite cheap. Now we just sit back and watch the dots grow. Basically, I'm going to try and get India as jam-packed with red dots as I possibly can. From there, it's going to spread all over the world very, very quickly. And I'm going to try and do this on kind of slow methodical mode like this. That way, as soon as I have points to spend, I spend them. Next, I'm going to go for insects, also good for hot climates. And India itself is a hot climate surrounded by hot climates. There's a few different ways we could play this. We're going to see just kind of how the disease acts naturally and adjust to it. You might say it's an evolving situation. But we just jumped up to 14 points because we have 1,286 people infected. Not that many yet. India is also humid, so we're going to get water. There's a few choices there that could have worked, but we're now up to several hundred people per tick. So India is going to get more and more red dots, and that's good for peace and love. Why is it a maple leaf for a rural country? What are they trying to say? Also, I'm going to pay attention to these. Scientists have had a breakthrough in their understanding of fever, and we'll be able to cure diseases with it more easily. No fevers for anyone. They get internal hemorrhaging instead. Coughing symptom mutated. I'm actually going to let that one go. Normally I like to devolve things right away, but since coughing actually makes it a lot more infective with very little severity and no lethality, let her rip. So luck is on our side. Peace and love is going to thrive. So now per tick we are getting overall tens of thousands infected, and we moved into other countries like Southeast Asia. Other geographical areas at least, and it's starting to spread pretty quickly now. So we're up to 13 points, that means we get more stuff. I think I'm going to give it heat resistance right away, that's going to help it finish off India, and the denser India is, the more planes are going to leave India to land in other places. Plus, that's also just a hot geographic area all along the equator. Or so I'm told at least, it's very close to the sun. But we've got red dots spouting up all over the place. The quicker we can spread in these different areas, the better. Basically, my theory is, and I don't know if this works, but the denser packed a country is, obviously the more red ships and boats are going to leave it constantly. Like, we just hit the UK, so if we get the UK very red dotted, it's going to spread to other places a lot, because UK is a hub. 15 points. I'm going to do air, because that's going to help plane and arid transmission. I'm not entirely sure on that one. I maybe could have also gone for rodent. Also, drugs is going to be a good one too for getting those rich, wealthy, good healthcare countries up top. But speaking of which, we jumped up to 20 points because we've infected 1.5 billion people already. So let's help get those wealthy countries nice and infected, because we've already hit places like Australia, which is a wealthy country. I don't know if we've hit Canada yet, but they were always the slowest to come around. But we're definitely infecting lots of people. I've got 16 points to spend. I'm going to spend it on rodent because look at all that infectivity. I just need everyone infected right now, and then they get internal hemorrhaging or brain death or something. The hardest part for me for this is having to keep an eye on my disease numbers. If I'm normally playing, this will jump up to like 100 without me noticing. Insomnia. I don't think I want that because I'm pretty sure that's going to boost severity, and it's not really going to help me particularly. Yeah, look at all the severity it takes away, plus I get 2 points. So let's also make this thing rip in cold climates also, which is all of the northern ones. And maybe far south ones, but I don't even know if they're really down there or not. We got a double pop, Eurozone. Okay, so they're having trouble in Europe. That's great, but the Middle East is getting very infected suddenly. I think it was just a lucky plane happened to like tear through there carrying infected people. So that was very lucky for me. We've infected 1.7 billion people. And I've really got to start paying attention to my points. We got 23, which is too many. I'm going to get drug resistance, never mind. I'm going to get cold resistance too because I can actually afford it. And also birds as soon as I can because I need this thing to hit everywhere very quickly. But we're obviously getting very infected because you can see the dots spouting up now way faster than they were before. We just hit Madagascar. That's always a tough one because it's a simple island with a single seaport. Also got Iceland, so hopefully Greenland comes soon. And I'm getting excited by all the red dots. I'm up to 25 points again. That means we get bird evolution. I just realized for the first time, there's connections in between all these. Like if you go blood all the way, then mosquito all the way, you get something there. Not sure what that is. We'll figure that out eventually. For now, we're going to sit back. Wow, 25 points plus those 28 points. So we're going to get this, create a bacterial shell to protect against all climates, and it's going to handle things a little bit better. I'm also going to take sneezing for only 5 points because it adds very little severity but lots of infectivity. I probably should have actually done that one a while ago. Southeast Asia is looking a little bit red. There's a new minor disease spreading, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. It's already pretty much taken over a quarter of the world. And we got immune suppression symptom. We don't really want that because that's a pretty big one. I mean, it's fun and all, but that takes the severity all the way to the moon, and I don't want to go to the moon yet. We need more drug resistance. Then we sit back and really watch things fly. We still haven't made it into Canada yet. Okay, I'm just going to take the blood transmission simply because that adds infectivity without anything else. It does increase a chance for mutation. Mutations can work to my benefit. And whatever I just did worked great because look at all that go. I'm going to give the good people some cysts because that does increase infectivity without too much severity. And then after that, we get more fun things that are more infectious, like abscesses. That does raise severity, but I want that to spread. This still isn't lethal, so it really shouldn't be that bad. We finally made it into Canada. Oh, they're already working on a cure, so this might not be a great idea. I can see why they would though, they're pretty red over there. So, okay, we've got tons of points to spend. Suddenly we have fever. I know they said if we had fever it's gonna finish quicker, but since it was free I might keep it. Though that does actually bridge us very nicely into skin lesions, which does make it a little deadly, but totally infectious, so let's get it. Then can we devolve fever? We don't get anything back, but I'd rather, you know, it's gonna work against me at this point anyway. So the only one left is Greenland, which is scary. I really hope I get a ship over from Norway. Norway's still hanging pretty strong. It's an urban country, it's humid, it's cold, it's rich. So I'm going to get water too. That helps with humid and ship transmission, both of which I need to get to little Greenland. Peace and love placed on watch list, as it should be. Probably should have been there a while ago. Greenland really needs to get infected though. Land borders are open and ports are open, but that's why I need a ship. But the next ship that kind of leaves Norway might do it. Whoops, I should probably be touching those. So many points I want to spend. Oh, is that going there? Immune system suppression again. So how do we get over there? I know birds, according to the comments, can carry country to country without doing anything, but I don't know if they're going to fly all the way to Greenland. I'm going to hit rodents also, simply because those are good for urban countries, and I believe Norway is an urban country. And since I have 45 points to spend, decrease future research speed, yes. Since they're already working on it, I was hoping we didn't have to do any of this, but Greenland is playing hard to get, as it often does. Oh, I think we got Greenland. We sure did. Now we gotta sit back and let it get super infected. Total organ failure. That would have been perfect like 60 seconds from now, but I think that's maybe gonna kill the infected people quicker than it's gonna infect them. Do I take that risk? I don't know if this is a good idea, because if I kill all the infected people, the infection stops. We're just gonna kind of let this go for a little bit. That's probably gonna make people pretty worried. Greenland closed their seaports though. They're figuring it out. Also, we've killed 300 million people already, so that number always kind of sneaks up on you. Really got to keep an eye on this ratio though. But we're taking out huge swaths of the world very quickly. Just worried about little Greenland here. France begins to break down. Yeah, that's because they're already doomed. Okay, Greenland we're going to be fine with. We got to do something about this cure a little bit though also. Or we take a gamble and just make it much more deadly. What is this? Necrosis. Large swaths of infected tissue lose blood supply and become fatal source of gangrene. Decomposed bodies remain a vector of transmission. Huge infectivity, lots of severity, big lethality. I'll take it. Instead of fighting the cure, I'm just going to fight the people. Oh, I didn't realize we're already that far along though. Oh, and Greenland's not done yet either. We also have anemia. So, well, Greenland's going to be infected. Will the people die though before? Actually, they probably will. Greenland was the last bastion, but we're 3/4 of the way done the entire world. And also, since we're at this point, there are no healthy people left in the world. And this came from the comment section again. You can devolve all the things that cause infectivity because you don't need them anymore. So you get a few points back, at least for a few of them. But then we can go over to abilities and something like this we can devolve if we want, so we can get cold climate. And cold climate again, that was an extra 3 points plus 6 points from the other area. Now we have 52 to spend again. So it's just a matter of finding the most lethal ones, which is either systemic infection or hemorrhagic shock. Look at how much lethality that is. I guess you don't want that one in real life. So that's going to kill people fairly quickly. I'm not sure if this was a new record. We did wipe out the world pretty quickly, but we got more points to spend. So let's see if we can make this even worse. Well, for now I'm going with systemic infection because that's still plenty of lethality. Then I guess I'm going to go with let's go with insomnia. Because next is paranoia, and then that's going to lead to something super deadly over here. And super deadly just happens to be the name of the game. We got 6.3 billion people dead, 6.5 billion people dead. So there's only 275 million people left. Research priority is high. It's at 77%. But I don't think they're going to do it because there's just not enough manpower left in the world. I would like more points though. 22 disease points is not enough. We can still get internal hemorrhaging though. I can't believe that's only 20 points. That's gonna make it even worse. So let's let it keep going. I need to kill the rest of these people as quick as possible. We're killing 10 million people per tick, and there's only 30 million left, so this should wipe out pretty quickly. They're still working hard in that cure though, fighting till the bitter end, while also suffering from hemorrhaging and hemorrhagic shock and tumors, all sorts of bad stuff. This is why I'm not allowed to have any power at all in any regard in life. Peace and love to eradicate humans. We all knew it would, we just didn't do anything about it. Okay, hurry up, this better be a new record. Yeah, way to go Iceland. Peace and love has successfully eliminated all life on Earth. But was that a new record? 557 days, that was 50% longer than my record. And the best part was, when I broke that record, I was just screwing around, trying to figure out the best way to do it. So, using what we've learned, I'm going to employ something of an interesting strategy, India. This will be what's called an experiment. Worst case is everyone in the world dies. Basically, as soon as I have points for something, I'm going to buy it. Coughing has lots of infectivity for only 4 points, let her rip. But I'm also going to try and spread to other countries right away. Like India is obviously going to be very infected by the end of this. Other countries are going to take longer, so let's get some clusters going over there ASAP. Because with 19 people infected, I don't think it's likely to hit another country just yet. But there's 6 points, which means we can afford sneezing, so that's going to make me pretty effective already, and we've spent very few points. Now the numbers are climbing quickly. We have 50 people infected in India, 60, almost 70. We're up to 10 points, so I think I maybe want to try insect. Because India is a hot country, insects love it there, they'll spread. And there's just a lot of people here in India to be infected. Then we quickly got 8 points. Livestock is only 8 points. India has a lot of livestock. But now that I'm getting a reasonable amount of people infected, I want to get birds. We're already hitting other countries, so it's a great time to get birds. But also water, because it's a humid environment. I might do water before birds, because water also travels on ships. And we can afford it right now, so I'm doing it right now. It's only 11 points. I didn't realize it was so cheap. And we got free rashes. We better investigate that before we let that run rampant. Actually, I like rashes. So we just broke the 2 million people infected mark. We hit China. Things are coming along pretty nicely. I still might get birds because I really want that to spread around more. But we also got down to New Guinea. And we just hit South Africa, or whatever it's considered here. Okay, it's starting to spread quite a bit. So I'm going to try this risky thing and do, birds. Because birds can go all over the place, especially if there's high bird migration. That's going to help spread it around because India is basically already done. We're up to almost 1.5 billion people infected, so now I just need to take it from India elsewhere in a hurry. So we're going to do airborne because that's good for plane transmission and arid environments. Both of those are all around India. In fact, the plane just landed in the UK, so that's going to infect them, and they're on an island, so they're going to struggle. India starts work on a cure. Okay, I probably shouldn't have gotten India's attention so much. But that's okay. They can have that for now. We'll be okay. Okay, we quickly got up to 19 points. We're going to do rodent for sure because those are urban areas. And one of the problems I've seen is that we need to infect Greenland. To get Greenland, we need Norway. Norway's hard to get, but it's urban, it's rich, it's humid, and it's cold. So we need those things. And Norway itself is a seaport, so we need boat transmission, so we need water power. There's so many different choices and strategies, it's hard to know what to focus on. We also got insomnia, we're going to take that away. I don't want the people paying any more attention to this, and I have to, but there's 2 free points. Okay, I'm going to give it cold resistance and heat resistance right now, that way they can spread around just a little bit better. But there's 23 points, 25 points. So we're also going to do some drug resistance to get it going in those rich countries, particularly Norway is the one I want. Well, I want all the countries, but I need these red dots to really spread everywhere. So I'm going to take cold resistance 2 to get into more of those northern countries. And I just realized this entire time I didn't buy this one yet. It's only 10 points, but that's a 10 points that can help out in many different avenues. So you go. So far so good. There's Madagascar. We've infected about half the world. And there's lots of travel going on everywhere still, so we should be able to infect pretty much everything. And we got anemia. We did get into Finland though, so that means the colder countries are getting it. We're going to get water too as well. I'm also going to take away anemia because that's just going to grab people's attention and not really help me, at least not yet. Then we're also going to get more urban, and that helps spread around quite a bit. That boat went to Iceland instead of Greenland, but the world's getting pretty red. That one's going to Greenland. That's pretty good. We're there fairly early. Now the only ones left are the Caribbean and Poland for some reason. But I'm going to do something maybe a little bit strange. I'm going to go livestock 2 or one of these other ones at least to get a little extra transmission going because I need people to be infected like now. So I'm going to try bugs. And I don't know where things go to the Caribbean, but hopefully one lands there soon. I also need Greenland to get infected right now. Okay, I get the Caribbean, so I think that's all countries in the world. Correct. So now let's escalate these symptoms just a little bit. We're going to get fever, which is going to add some lethality, and then skin lesions for extra infectivity. Now we're like 75% infectious, so that's hopefully going to get everything. So fever is going to work against me suddenly, but we also have nausea. I'm going to take that away because that's just maybe one too many for the good people. They're going to start to worry about this disease that does all sorts of weird things. I'm not actually going to do anything about the cure just yet. I'm just going to let this run for a sec to see how quickly we're going to get these infected. Then I'll make my decision based on those. They're well on their way. I think we're okay. Hypersensitivity. Since we're at where we're at, I'm now going to get immune suppression. That's going to help to start killing people because we're obviously going to infect everyone. And there's officially no healthy people left in the world. So it's refund time. 2 points there, and we're going to take 1 point here. Same here. We're going to take 2 points here and 1 point from drugs, which gives us 38 points, which means we can get total organ failure, which is so crazy deadly that it's almost a joke. Then we can just put this thing on full speed ahead and watch the world die. They're pretty committed to a cure though, so I would like to stop that as soon as I can because that's going alarmingly fast. We also have inflation. The world's not dying fast enough. Can we do something about that? Okay, we're going to slow down their research speed, but this is still going to go really quickly. So we might actually have to give them some symptoms that slow down research speed. Mexico begins to break down. People are dying very quickly though, so that's good. I think I'm going to take seizures next for only 10 points because that does add lethality, and I'm pretty sure that slows down cure work. Because we're getting pretty close to a cure, and that's a little bit alarming for me, though I can do a reshuffle pretty quick. I also don't know how many days have passed, but we're going to do a genetic reshuffle for 24 points. That's going to set the world back. That might be just enough for us to win because people are dying in droves. And that's exactly what I need. Okay, so they're only 76% done the cure. I think we're going to overrun them. So I'll probably just make our disease a little bit more deadly. Or a lot more deadly with necrosis. Everyone loves necrosis. That should about finish them off. They're 80% done, but they're about 80% dead, so they're going to run out of manpower very soon. And we got about 13 points to spend, so what do we spend that on? Nothing apparently. There's nothing good to spend that few points on. We want the good stuff only at this point. I still feel like this was good, but didn't take, was longer than I meant it to by quite a bit. But the world is about dead. There's only 2 million people left. And that's fine. The cure is 85% done. Close only counts in horseshoes. And that's about time. How did we do? This took 538 days still? That's a marginal improvement, but we're still way off where we should have been.